what we have here in Maine that is truly unique is the largest intact forest east of the Mississippi, the darkest sky east of the Mississippi, an area that is deemed globally important by National Audubon for migratory birds. An incredible gift that we have. Will our children have that? I don't know. And unless we do something and take action and commit to trying to hold on to it, I think we could lose that. Home again. Once again, I am with myself at home. The path through the sun-girdled spruce brings me closer to my place. As I climb to the mountain meadow, my soul opens in recognition. The rough rock terrain and plunging arrow streams awaken these forms within. I'm Karin Tilberg, and I'm President CEO of the Forest Society of Maine. And one of the ways that we're unique is this tradition that we have in Maine of having open policy for people to access wildlands, for hunting, for hiking, for exploration. It is really something that's part of this identity of who we are here and goes hand in hand with the large forested landscapes we have and the wild rivers and the clean waters and lakes. My relationship with the North Woods started when I taught backpacking in the North Woods. I just fell in love with it, and I found that it felt like home to me in a way that I never felt a place feel like home. Ridgelines glazed with light burn into my heart, and writhing river gorges echo my restlessness. Days take on a rhythm. They are without time. Earth shares her secrets, and I am home.
Gus. We're actually hunting right now on land owned by the Down East Lakes Land Trust. It was acquired probably close to 20 years ago now, which guarantees public access for hunting and fishing. I've been hunting a lot of these spots since I bought the lodge 21 years ago. My name's Jeff McAvoy, and owner of Weatherby's Lodge in Grand Lake Stream since 2003. And Weatherby's was built in 1870. We host fishermen and hunters from all over the world every year, fishing Grand Lake Stream and many of the surrounding lakes. We have unique fishery. It's been fly fishing only on Grand Lake Stream since 1903, which is unique anywhere in the world. These lakes are pristine. I mean, very little development, so they'll remain that way forever. And that's what people are looking for. I mean, you can fish anywhere in the world, but you can't do it in such a unique setting. My dad would take me when I was a kid. Did a little bit of hunting, a little bit of fishing. As I got my driver's license, I'm in the woods, camping out, canoeing, fishing. Great memories with the kids growing up here has been awesome. Being able to take them out on the boats and camp and fish with them and show them what I like to do. And now, of course, my daughter's guiding. She enjoys it as well. And my son loves to bird hunt with me.
One of the things that is so important in our work is when we do acquire an easement, we work very hard to assure permanent pedestrian access forever. And that's now we have 1 million acres of easements, most of which have that. I think there's also a really growing push to make sure that there's public lands and opportunities near to more urban areas. Not everyone has a car. Not everyone can drive, hours up to the North Woods or feel comfortable driving into more remote places.
My name's Aaron Doherty. I'm the Executive Director here at Frenchman Bay Conservancy. I've been in this role since 2014. It's really important for land conservation organizations like Frenchman Bay Conservancy to understand what are the important places that we need to protect. So that involves conversations with hunters and fishermen, commercial and recreational users. And so everyone who wants to get out and enjoy these places, everyone who cherishes a particular part of Maine's North Woods or the coast or anywhere in between, our job is to make sure that people continue to have access on private lands to those places. And that's there for everyone to enjoy in perpetuity. This is an absolutely wonderful part of the world, and I am thrilled to be working here. I feel privileged to be able to grow an organization and to see young people doing the conservation work that I learned 10 years ago.
I'm Erin Witham. I'm a land protection manager at Frenchman Bay Conservancy. We're on Long Cove in Sullivan, and this preserve was purchased by FBC to protect access for clammers and wormers. It's a parcel right off of Route 1 on a very productive mudflat here in Sullivan. For me, it's really exciting when conservation can be reactive to places that are special in a community and protect those places.
I think a good example of conservation in this community, and I think and what really spawned the interest in the local land trust, was the project on Grand Lake Stream in 1995, where they basically took land that had been approved for subdivision by Georgia Pacific, a paper company, and they were able to acquire that and gift it to the state, so now it's protected. If that project had gone through, we would have lost access to probably half of Grand Lake Stream, and it would have changed this community forever. And it would have put a real damper on the sporting industry here in town, the sporting camps, the guides, etc.
All right.
A lot of the lands north of us that are not part of the conservation easements or owned by the land trust are getting posted. You know, people from other parts of the country are buying the land because it's cheap, and they can buy 300 acres, 500 acres, and they post it, and then we lose access to it. So I think the risk for the hunting and fishing heritage is real in the absence of large ownership and large conservation.
I've had conversations with local fishermen here in this community about access points within Frenchman Bay that are in jeopardy right now. And they've said if they lose access to those particular places, that they literally don't have another place to go. But they're so important to those fishermen and to their families. If they're lobstermen, you know, you're talking about the lobstermen, the sternmen, bait dealers, and so forth. And so these places are real important to our communities. If we lose them, it's got a cascading effect that will affect our entire community.
Because people care so much, they are willing to try. They're willing to work with neighbors and work with, you know, people in their community to say, let's try to hold on to the naturalness of that mountain or that river or that landscape, and maybe we can find a creative way where it's still owned by a landowner, but there's an easement on it. It won't ever get developed, and it can always be open. And so we've been experimenting with some very powerful, creative conservation strategies in Maine. And it's working, and we need the funding for it. And that's also very important, that Maine has a premier program, Land for Maine Future program, that makes available funding for those kind of community visions that people get behind and are willing to stand up for.
So we make impacts at the local level. We're protecting particular places that are focus areas for Frenchman Bay Conservancy, but a lot of times those focus areas are of significant conservation value statewide. And that's in part because we're protecting climate resilient landscapes. We're protecting habitat areas that are designated by the state, beginning with habitat program, because of some rare species that are native to that particular area, or an ecosystem that is unique in this part of the state of Maine. And so the work that we do at the local level does have that statewide significance and beyond. There are so many land conservation organizations working at the local level, the regional level, the state level. Wherever you are in the state of Maine, there is an opportunity for you to give back and to conserve land in partnership with your local land trust. And your land conservation organization will be successful because of the work that you do with them. So we still have an opportunity to conserve land between the shoreline and Maine's North Woods in a way that most other places along the entire eastern coast of the United States no longer have. So we have a unique opportunity, and I think we also have a unique obligation to protect this place while it still exists. I think if we're doing our work correctly, then in fact the next generation will have even more opportunity to enjoy the outdoors than we do today.